I'm going to be showing you how to import a WordPress website into another WordPress website. So this is something that's helpful if, say, you have content from one site that you built in WordPress and you want to import that content over to a different site that you're building. Or say, for instance, you had a website that was built as a template that you want to import into your current site so that you can use that templated site as a framework for something that you're building, which is what we're going to be doing here. We have this website for the faculty ePortfolio course Redesign with Technology that Michelle has built, and we want to take this site shell and import it into our website so that we can use it to start building. So the first thing you're going to need is the website's export file. Now, if you're importing content from a site that you own, you can go ahead and just export the file yourself from your WordPress dashboard. But because this is a website that wasn't built by me, it was built by Michelle, I need to have her supply the export file, which she has generously done, and it's available via a Dropbox link that I'm going to paste into my browser now. I'm also going to include a link to this file in the description of the video, so look below for that. Now when you go to this link, you're going to see a bunch of XML code and it's going to look scary, but don't worry about it because you actually don't need to do anything with this. The only thing you need to do is go ahead and click download up in the upper right and then download the file. Then you can close it and forget that you ever saw the scary code you just looked at. Now I'm going to go back into my website's dashboard and I'm going to go to Tools and then I'm going to go to Import. And I'm going to now click on WordPress because I'm importing a WordPress site. Next, we need to click the Choose File button and locate that XML file that I just downloaded, which is right here. Click Open, and then click Upload File and Import. Now, if the website that you are importing contained any blog posts, you'll see a screen similar to this, and it's basically asking if you want to reassign the author names that are appended to the imported posts, or if you want to leave them alone. You can go ahead and assign them to a different username if you have any set up with the website, or you can go ahead and type your own name here. But since I'm not really worried about it, I'm just going to ignore it and move on to the Import Attachments checkbox, which this is important to check. This makes sure that any images or anything associated with the site that we're importing are actually brought over and we can use them within the site that we're building right now. And then go ahead and click Submit, and it's going to start the import process. This could take up to a couple minutes, so just be patient as this is finishing its way through. So once the import process is done, you'll get a message saying all done, and WordPress is going to be nice enough to tell you to go have fun. So we're going to go have some fun. Now we've imported the site, and if I visit the site right now, it doesn't look anything like the final result that we're expecting to get. And that's because we don't have the theme that Michelle's template has installed on our site. If I scroll to the bottom here, I can actually see that the theme she's using is called Lifestyle. So I'm going to go back to our site. I'm going to go to Appearance and Themes, and I'm going to click Add New Theme, and I'm going to search for Lifestyle. See that it shows up here. I'm going to click Install, and then I'm going to activate it once it installs. So if you're importing a site that you owned or that you got from someone else, it's important to note that the themes don't import. The import really just takes care of the content and images contained in the site. So the theme adjustments need to be made after the fact. This is true with plugins as well, which we are going to jump into after we get the theme set up. So now that I have Lifestyle set up and it's active, if I visit my site again, you can see, okay, it's starting to look a little closer to Michelle's site here. However, it's still not quite right. You can see her navigation is home and then stages 1 through 4. And while I have those, I also have this blog and about and this 651 no title link. So we need to go ahead and fix that by customizing the theme now. So now that I'm here, I can go ahead and click Customize in my site. And as I said earlier, this up here is a menu that was built on the site that we imported. The cool thing is, since it was set up as a menu, if I go to Menus on the left-hand side, you'll see that main nav was the menu that was created and it copied over. And this is the home stages 1 through 4. I simply need to say that I want this set as the primary menu by checking the primary button under menu locations. Once I check that, it'll say current main nav, and I can see on the right hand side in the preview that it now says home and stages 1 through 4. Now you'll notice on home over on the left hand side, this is a custom link. This custom link is actually pointing back to Michelle's site, which we don't want. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this link. I'm going to click Add Items, and I'm going to go to Pages, and we're going to click this 651 No Title. This is actually the page containing the content that we want. It just doesn't have a title, which is why it's given just a number and no title. But this is actually the page we want. So I'm going to go ahead and drag it to the top. Then I'm going to go ahead and change the navigation label to read Home. Now if I look over in the preview side, it'll say Home, stages 1 through 4. And this home link is going to actually go to content that's on my site, and it's not redirecting back to Michelle's website. Now we're closer, but you'll notice now there's still something missing. On Michelle's homepage, we have this big header image, and on mine, I just have the paragraph of content with no image. So there's a couple things that still need to be customized. Again, this will vary depending on the theme and the content that you're doing, but for this example, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we switch the header image. And since we did an import and we imported all the files and pictures associated with this website, we can have this nice wrought iron photo that Michelle had gotten. We can go ahead and select it. But even with it selected, it's still not showing up here. And that's because we haven't set the home page of the site under static front page to be the front page, which is the page that features the actual image. So the last step I need to take in order to make this look right is to go to static front page, choose front page displays a static page, and then we're going to set this 651 no title, which we previously made our home page, as the front page of the site. Once you do that, the image shows up, and now it looks like Michelle's site that we were trying to make it look like for our template. Now that it looks this way, I'm going to go ahead and hit Save and Publish, and I'm going to close out the customization menu. Now if I go to the site, it looks like the template we should be using. However, when you go to the Stages section, it looks okay here, but if I go to the Stage 1 page on Michelle's site, you'll notice there's this contents and list of anchor links that are actually taking you to these sections. But on my site, that content section doesn't exist. Remember how I said that the plugins were something else that don't get copied over? Well, those content links are actually part of a plugin called Better Anchor Links, which didn't copy over because the import, again, only brings content and images over. However, this is an easy fix. I can go ahead and go to Plugins, go ahead and click Add New, and I'm going to search for Better Anchor Links, which is the name of the plugin that I want. I'm going to click Install Now, and then I'm going to go ahead and click Activate Plugin. Now that this is activated, if I just go back to my site on this Stage 1 page and refresh it, you'll notice that the contents and the links actually appear on all of the stage pages. That's because on the import, this content has actually been copied over in the pages. It just wasn't able to display because the plugin that is used to make that content show up hadn't yet been installed. But now that it is, everything's looking like it should. I can start authoring this site to be my own content, and the template is completely installed and imported onto my site. So, the key things to remember when importing a site. You need to take note of any themes that are being used on the site you're trying to replicate or import over, and be sure that you install those on your new site. And the same goes with plugins. These two things won't come over with an import, but once you plug them in, all the content and stuff that relies on them should display as you're expecting. Happy importing!